What's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to 360 flip. This is one of my favorite tricks to do, and I'm going to break this down into 3 easy steps for you. First, we're going to go over foot positioning. Next, we're going to go over the scoop and how that all works. And lastly, we're going to cover where to put your weight and also a secret tip that really helped me figure out how to get these on lock and feeling really good every single time. All right, let's get into the foot positioning. So moving into foot positioning, the front foot is the least important of the feet, but it's still kind of crucial where you put it. I think especially when you're first starting off in this trick, it's better to have your foot further back. So we're gonna want this kind of in kickflip position, maybe a little bit more pointed forward and about in the middle of the board, just like this. Just learning this trick, it is gonna be a little bit difficult to balance standing with your feet close together. And that's why I always recommend learning these rolling just enough where you can get your balance and get your momentum. This trick is super hard to learn standing still. With the front foot, it's not going to do that much. We basically want it to be there to catch the board, get out of the way, and give it the tiniest flick. You really don't want to focus on the flick at all, or else you end up over rotating that board. The back foot, this is most important. You want to have this I think a lot of people try to have it right here and scoop right in that pocket. But what you actually want is to have it more in this corner on the board and have your foot up. You do not want to have your heel on the board. You don't want to have your foot flat on the board. This part of my foot, kind of like right where your toes connect to your foot, is almost grabbing the tail of the board right here. You can really feel your toes kind of holding onto the edge of that board, and that's when you know your foot's in the right place. You really want to have that heel up, almost on your tippy toes on both feet, building that counter pressure on both sides of the board so you can really generate that momentum and generate that pressure to flip that board around. All right, moving on to the scoop. This is why that foot positioning is so important, and having that back foot with your heel up and your toes kind of gripping the tail of that board so you can really get the pressure to get that board scooped around as fast as possible. So one of the most common mistakes I see with this is people trying to scoop their board, like legit take their foot backwards to get that scoop, and they end up jumping forward. And so what you don't want with your 360 flip is having it go in front of you this way. You want it to be moving this way. And that's why it's so important that you have your foot right here, and you work on literally how I learned these is you work on scooping this just with your back foot and your front foot off, and just getting that rotation down. Almost like practicing impossible, you really get that feeling of what that scoop feels like and where you want to pop that board, because even though everyone refers to it as a scoop, it's definitely more of a pop off the corner of your tail. We're not really scooping it back like this. You want to pop and almost, I think of moving my foot forward in this direction, not necessarily back like this. So keep working on that to get that practice in. And then once you have that feeling down, I think it's really helpful to start working on landing these with just your front foot like this. And this is how you're really going to build that confidence that you know your board is going to flip around, you know your front foot's going to land on it, and you just have to work on getting that back foot on the board. This is definitely a daunting trick to learn. As you look down, you see your board flipping a lot. It's scary to fully commit to that. But once you get comfortable with this and comfortable with the pop, these are going to start working for you really fast. All right, the last thing we're going to work on today is how to balance and your weight when you're scooping. And then the secret that really helps me get these on lock and get these working for me as consistently as I've had them in a long time. So with your weight, what you want to do is as you're rolling up with your feet in position, you want to be moving at a speed that's comfortable enough for you to balance on the board. And so what you want to do is be leaning forward, obviously, to kind of stay balanced. And then as you're coming out of that crouch, you really want to lean back onto your back leg and do that scoop. Give it as big of a kick as you can, especially as you're learning. You got to take some practice to figure out what kind of energy you need to put into this to get the proper spin and flick of the board. So it definitely takes some trial and error in this part to figure it out. But so as you come up, you want to lean back, scoop forward, and then this is the tip that really helps me out. So I've noticed a lot of people learning 360 flips, like a lot of tricks, you try to keep your shoulders square with the board. And what happens when you do that is you kind of jump forward this way. And that's really not what you want to have happen with a 360 flip. You want to have it be going in front of you this way. As you're rolling, and right as you kind of jump up, you open your shoulders up like this. And that kind of helps your momentum, helps your scoop, and then just helps you land properly after you've come up and have your weight on the back foot, you need to focus on landing with your weight even over both feet when you land, so you're not sticking and rolling forward or shooting back when you land on your board. Figuring out that weight shift is really important, and once you get that down with the open shoulders, this trick is just gonna work. Again, like every trick in skateboarding, this takes a lot of practice, but once you get it down, if you try to do these a couple tries every session you're skating, once you start landing them, they're gonna get more and more consistent. You're gonna figure out little things that work for you so you can get them every single time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now go out there and get some tray flips. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel out, and I have a bunch of other trick tips on my channel, so please go and check those out, and I have a lot more to come. All right, see you guys in the next video.